But one thing I can say consistently to most of the readers is don't go to Manila. Unless you're living in some really bad ghetto of Jersey or Chicago or East LA, and you would consider Manila an improvement in life, don't go to Manila. Especially if you're going to come all the way here to the Philippines, come out and enjoy the tropical life that it offers. Because in Manila, you're going to encounter a whole lot of crime, a whole lot of trash, a whole lot of disorganization, lack of infrastructure, one of the worst airports in the entire planet. Why would you want to go there? And it comes back to my main point. Manila has too many people in too small a space. And that's the result. And it's the same thing for portions of New York, portions of Chicago, portions of Los Angeles. Whenever you get too many people in one spot, you end up with those sort of things. Now, in smaller towns, smaller islands, smaller barangays, smaller cities, there's a little bit more of a sense of community. Those are the places where people actually get together and have block parties on holidays, 4th of July or whatever, barbecues. Those are places where, like say I've lived in a cul-de-sac before several times. For those who don't know what a cul-de-sac is, it's the end of a street. There's no way out. There's only one way in, one way out. And all the neighbors always know each other. They may not hang out all the time, but they know each other. And if somebody new moves to the cul-de-sac, everybody takes notice of it. And I guess that's my point, is if it weren't for the big cities, we wouldn't have universities, we wouldn't have big hospitals, we wouldn't have medicine, we wouldn't have an intricate police structure, court system. There's a lot of benefits that come with the big city. Don't get me wrong. In fact, I love going to the big city to enjoy the malls, the cinema, the restaurants, and all these things. But it's a two-edged sword. I still believe that if you put it all together and you shake it out, in the end, I really don't think mankind was meant to live piled on top of each other in big square domiciles, all fighting for a limited amount of food and water by way of working themselves to death. I'm just trying to cross the street here. And, so there's the downside of small towns and communities, of course. You don't have the sophisticated police system. You don't have, again, the hospitals and all that stuff. So, I'm going to take a break here. So, it's got its yin and yang. But altogether, I would say that there's a benefit to much of the smaller islands, smaller towns, where people do know each other. And as I mentioned before, everybody's going to kind of be in your business. Everybody's going to be asking where you're going, who's that woman you were talking to, where's your wife, all that stuff. But the positive side of people in a small community being somewhat connected and aware of each other is there's a little bit more safety, a little bit more accountability. There's still going to be crime, but I don't think it's going to be at the high level or at the extreme end of viciousness that you find in the heart of the big city. Just some thoughts I wanted to share. Maybe agree with me, maybe you don't. That's just my perception. Just from what I've seen over the years, things that I've read in the news, observations I've made. And now that I live here in the Philippines, I've been to downtown Cebu, the carbon market. You already know about my incident that happened there with some muggers. But I've now moved out here to the quieter, smaller island of Bohol. And again, don't all of you come to Bohol, because then it's going to get too crowded and then I got to go find another island. Fortunately, there's a whole bunch of them. But I don't know. I just see that trend. I just see higher crime in bigger cities, and while you got to be vigilant all the time, I'm more vigilant when I'm in the big city. So, anyways, just some stuff to think about as you're traveling. You may be going to some other unrelated place. You may be traveling within the U.S., Australia, Europe, or whatever. But if you're traveling to the big city, maybe it's just something to keep in mind. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. I'm going to go down to the mall and change shirts and have some fun. All right, talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.